If you go on to bbc.co.uk/Sunny and Shaye, or go onto Twitter and type in Sunny and Shaye, you'll see a picture of my husband Sunny, and you'll realise that he has hair. But
what does that mean? Oh no, that's a shock. Oh no, hold on.
On his head.
He's not bald.
No, he's not
like
bald.
Most of his family.
Exactly, like most of your family. Exactly, good point. But more importantly, you have very long hair.
I do.
Maybe
indeed.
a lot of people won't know that. And tonight, we thought usually at some point when autumn or winter hits,
it does.
We do like to talk about grooming, and usually we will talk about ladies' beauty and my hair regime. But we've decided to do something different tonight.
Yes,
we're talking about male grooming, but we're talking not just about male grooming. We're talking about your long hair.
Now, here's the thing. Now, I don't like going to hairdressers.
No.
I was one hairdresser who's been cutting my hair for like 20 years odd, and he wasn't available, right? So I was thinking, where can I go and get my hair cut done from? And who knows about hair? And as a result, right, I was walking around London. I love London, right?
You love Soho.
I love Soho.
It's your favourite part.
I love Soho. I would like to live on Brewer Street. That's where I want to live eventually. But I ventured into this place called Blade. Is that right?
It's called iBlade.
I know, but anything that's called Blade, right, is a bit of a... It reminded me of a film straight away.
Right, okay.
Blade Runner, Blade. Yeah. And iBlade, I thought, that's interesting. So me and Shaye walked into this, and lo and behold, it is a hairdresser's.
It certainly is.
But that's not what you go to do there.
No.
You go there and you can actually have a cup of tea, or you can have a latte, and they're all homely, they're all put together by the chef, I would call him.
You'd call him a chef. I love
would,
that.
because he makes his own concoction.
Yes.
He makes his own concoctions. It's not something that he's bought from down the road. It's, even the chocolate is cacao.
Yes,
as opposed
pure
to
chocolate.
Instead of chocolate powder. And I didn't have to have my hair cut. I could just have that coffee and walked out.
Now, it's an interesting scenario, but essentially, and because we'd like to introduce our guest, or we could babble on about the place, but we'd like to actually introduce her. The reason why we played the dupatta means chunni, a scarf that you put on your head, and most ladies will use this to cover their beautiful long hair. Now, Sunny, you wouldn't because you're male, but I just thought it was perfect to play that and introduce our hair expert, also managing director at Blade Soho.
I would say skin expert.
Hair expert, skin expert, because she was giving you a lot of tips when we were there.
So many, and they work so well.
And
Look
she
at me,
loved
I'm
your
glowing
hair.
today.
I know. And I will put up pictures on Facebook so you can see how Sunny it had a beautiful experience at Blade. But joining us now in the studio is Julia Olofsson, hair expert and managing director of Blade Salon in Soho. Welcome to BBC London. It's great. Put the mic up, Sunny.
Hello.
There we go. Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
No, we cannot hear you now because Sunny's...
Is that you?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now. So look, I guess before we talk about Sunny's experience, for yourself, Julia, your salon's quite different. I've never seen a salon whereby it's a cafe where you can use tablets, so iPads, the internet. It's free for you to be able to use.
Okay, Shaye,
and you get
what?
your hair. It's beautiful.
I think I can talk about this more than you because I went through the experience, and she's got the men's mentality to a T. Now, we are like children, men, as you've probably cut many hairs in your life, and we need to be occupied. And
you can't sit still, pretty much. That's
exactly.
And usually when the couples come in, I try always to separate, and this is the perfect thing, because usually the girl takes over completely. That's why I need the man just for myself.
Right.
So you can stay at the coffee shop, and it's just behind you.
Right.
And I can have full...
You have me to yourself.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing. Normally, what you do when you sit in a hair salon, you look at the mirror in front of you. After a while, you get bored of your own reflection because you don't look really flattering when you get your haircut done.
No, that's usually bad lining, but the consultation, that's the main thing. I need to know, like, what are you after, what do you do, and that's the only way. It's the personal way to find out what you want.
Right.
And that's when the wife is just further away. Because otherwise you don't know what you want.
So once we've decided what I wanted, then what you do is a genius. This is where the genius comes in iBlade, right? They put a toy in my hand, and it's in the form of a tablet.
Yes.
Now, while normally when I get my hair cut, I'm really nervous because I don't like a lot of hair, I don't like a lot of length coming out of my hair, as you know, because we had this consultation, and I'm really particular about what I use in my hair. You were someone who helped me because you said to me that you don't really wash your hair that often, do you? And you actually knew the state of my hair and my scalp and everything. And you actually told me in the winter it's good for you to wash your hair less because your scalp needs...
It's much better not to wash it every day, because if you wash every day, you have to make sure that whatever's using, it's the same pH as your skin, because your skin, if your scalp is really good, then your hair is really shiny as well, because you can't really take off all the natural oils. You need that for the hair to shine. So
now,
don't wash it every day. That's just better.
That's one way of doing it.
thing.
And now, if for example, now you told me about my skin on my face as well, because I've shaved and what have you, and you told me to use. How would I take care of my skin on my face?
You need to moisturize a lot, but it's from outside. But you have to also think about inside. You need to eat well. Really, really well. You need to drink a lot of water, because that will help. Because sometimes in the winter, it's just not enough to have a good cream. You need to actually
hydrate your body from inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, why
That's
is that important to hydrate your body so much? I mean, like sometimes, when you walk out in the winter and you feel your skin feels tight. And it's just like, like it's cracking when you touch it, and you go in and you're like poking it and you think, why is that hurting so much?
You probably wash it with really hot water.
Yes, I do. I do.
Because you open up the skin too much. You need to have a little bit colder water, so the pores will close up, and they're just going to be nice.
Let's focus on the hair though for a second. I mean, how seriously do you think that men take grooming today? Because I mean, you're a salon, and it's specifically for men. It's very tailored. I mean, ladies can come in as well, but I would say for the experience that Sunny had, you're looking after really long hair. How seriously do men? It is important to look after your hair, isn't it?
It's very important. Well, we in Soho, there is a lot of guys that are really washing it more and take care of it more than the girls.
Right.
Absolutely. Long hair takes a bit more care. You really need to have a good conditioner for it. But don't go crazy. You don't need to spend too much products on it. You just have to have basically...
And what is the formula I'm looking for in my, let's say, in a shampoo bottle, for example? If I look at a shampoo bottle, what am I looking for? What is the PF number that I'm looking for?
5.5 pH. It's really good.
I'm going to make a note of that.
5.5.
Yes.
Look for that. And don't worry about the names. Just look for 5.5 P. What is it?
pH.
That's the important bit. Okay. Now, what is that formula? Why is that important?
Most soaps, it's too alkali, so they will dry the scalp completely, and that's when your hair will suffer, because the hair will gonna get thinner.
Right.
When you wash it too much, that's what happens. This just keeps the skin and the oils in your hair, basically. So
now, if you had used this shampoo, now normally when you wash your hair, it gets all dry and you think that's clean, but we don't want that. We want that sort of we want it to look clean, but we want that
you
sort of
don't want it too dry.
Too dry as well.
Because with shampoo, you open up your hair, and all the cuticles are really
vulnerable.
Open. That's when it's really frizzy. That's why you really need a good conditioner to close the hair up again, so the cuticles gonna get nice and shiny.
So now, see, the first time I never knew that's what it does. So shampoo opens your hair, and conditioner closes your hair. So now I know that. I never knew that before.
The thing is, Julia, I mean, when you look at hair, especially being a hair expert, I'm sure you've recognised, or do you? I don't know. I mean, do ladies tend to look after their hair more than men? Is it what type of clientele do you have?
We just spend more money on different products. I think we just kind of go crazy. I want this one. I want the shine thing. I want the cream, and I want the mousse.
You don't need all that.
You just need the product that works for you, and for that you just literally need to go personal, see what kind of, if it's a greasy scalp, why has it happened? If it's dry scalp, why has it happened? And just find one thing that's really good for you.
And winter's coming up now. A lot of people are going to be wearing hats because it's cold outside, and that causes a bit of heat underneath your head. You might have more greasy hair, flat hair than you normally would. Some people are bald, right? So they've got certain patches of hair in certain places. How would we then hydrate our scalp, and what is the best way to look after our head over the winter period?
Oh, well, if you wear a lot of hats, it goes really, really kind of greasy. The first mistake they will do, they're going to wash it every day. So what happens, you overstimulate the root, so the sebum comes more and more and more. So actually, that's when you should just
back off. Okay, don't touch your hair.
Just take it easy every second day, or maybe change the hat.
That's a good point, actually.
It's just, if the helmet works, so don't put gel in your hair. just have some nice wax, otherwise it's completely closed.
And then what we've got is bald people who've got bald hair, thinning hair. What's the best way to look after you? There's a man outside just scratching his hair.
It's going to be like the face. So if you take care of your
treat
face,
your head like your face.
If they're having a nice close shave, so you're always going to put a cream on it.
Right, so moisturising cream and drink a lot of water. Okay, and I want to just say one more thing about your salon. It's amazing, because when I was sitting there while you were cutting my hair, I was on this pad, and I was watching all the trailers of films that are coming up and doing research for the show and looking at what's at the film festival and everything. And before I knew it, after how long did you take cutting my hair? It was almost over an hour and a half.
No, 40 minutes. Maybe
40 minutes. Sorry,
I was straightening a long time because it's so long.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, cutting it and it's just straightening
so
it.
Long.
It is.
And then as a result, I looked up and you were done, and I was like, wow.
Yeah,
so that I have to say, you were so, and I have to say that is a unique bit of your salon. Now, where can we find your salon? Tell us about your salon if you're online and what have you.
We're on Thrift Street, 26 Thrift Street. Just if you Twitter, you can go at Blade Soho.
At Blade Soho. So we'll send you a tweet now, and I'm going to put some pictures up as well.
And also, you don't have to actually go there to get your haircut. You can actually go and have that brilliant, that chef that you got behind the counter, who's your husband.
Yes, he's stuck with me. Yes, bless him. Well, he's a vegan, so he's always trying to do different recipes, and he's very creative at that side.
I've noticed.
So I did have to say, I enjoyed my chai latte. There's something I'd like to ask you as well. When the type of clientele that you'll have walking into Blade Soho, and I just want to focus on location if I can for a moment. I mean, if I'm living, let's say, we live in West London, when you walk into a local hair salon, there's certain things that you'd expect. But when you walk into somewhere like Soho, I guess you expect that higher, standard, would you say? I mean, is that something you've felt being a new business in Soho, that you've got to kind of
stick out of the crowd?
You've got to stick out of the crowd.
Yes. It's not enough just doing one thing anymore. But this was, for me, I always want to have a coffee shop where I work.
Right.
It brings people together. You can come with a friend. You never get bored. You have something to do. It's kind of like having a party, and every party kind of always in the kitchen. So it's the same thing. It's really cozy. So I think we're really big on the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And my husband was the one who actually inspired me to do the iPad. Because he literally said to me, my haircut is a waste of my time.
That's how I felt. Yeah, exactly.
I want to be entertained or do something useful. And I said, okay, I said, if you can have this in front of you, just make sure you're not holding it.
Okay.
And you're still.
And here's the other thing about you. You're doing something special. You have a live jazz band in your every so often, right?
So tell us about
So when is the next jazz band coming in?
The next one on Halloween, 31st.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make a visit to Blade, 31st is a good way to introduce yourself to a salon experience like no other that I've ever experienced before, from this lovely lady. And she's you're beautiful.
You are indeed.
You're a stunning lady. And your husband in himself, I love his curly hair, please tell him that. And his beautiful chef drinks.
I know, they are very cool. So 31st of October, you're going to have live jazz,
jazzing cuts. It's very creative kind of atmosphere, because they playing from 7 o'clock or so on, and we cutting away on the other side. So it's
having coffee. It's going to be nice.
It's really cool.
So what's I like the idea of that, actually, even because it's not just for men. That's really important. It is also for ladies as well. Yes, so what's the opening times and what's the website?
It's bladesoho.co.uk.
Okay.
And opening time, we're there from 10, and I'm finishing really late. I'm there until 9.
Okay,
nice.
That's good. So you can go after work as well.
Yes, you can.
Very, very important. Okay, so for Twitter, it's at Blade Soho. And if you'd like the website, it's bladesoho.co.uk. Julia, I just have to say thank you so much. My husband looked his hair looked better than mine when we walked
even
out.
You said that my hair was well looked after.
You had a bit of a competition over there.
I know. It is very long, isn't it? It's been lovely having you in on BBC London.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're listening to BBC London 94.9. We're going to be talking about one of the most important events of the diary dates in there.